Space. So empty and vast. It's easy to get lost thinking about the cosmos. We spend all of our time on one small planet in the grand scale of the universe, and all we can do is gaze into the stars above. When I was a kid, I would binge watch television shows on space all the time. So when Super Mario Galaxies came out, it seemed like the perfect combination of my passions. I was always down for another Mario game, but this one was certainly different. The pacing was different. Mario already defied gravity enough as it was before, so the added benefit of low gravity in space was certainly an added bonus. While I was exploring the various galaxies throughout the game, there were a few I would get lost in just being at peace. Thinking back to these places triggers an overbearing sense of nostalgia for me, and I can recall exactly the moments of my life that were transpiring during my time with this game. I'm sure for all of you watching, you have similar feelings as well. The places we go instill memories within us in real life, and the environments in games are certainly no different. Although I couldn't visit space myself, Super Mario Galaxies was the next best thing. But of all the galaxies in the game, there was one in particular that simply embodied this feeling of the universe, and that was the Space Junk Galaxy. Now, Space Junk Galaxy, or Stardust Galaxy as it is directly translated, was quite the bizarre area. It truly felt like the most isolated place within the game. The soundtrack was both haunting and mesmerizing, and you couldn't help but let your mind drift to the tune. There was a lingering feeling of separation that made you just stop and think about the universe in general. And this was a place I would come to often just to reflect on my life. But what was the underlying theme to this whole level? Why did it grasp us in just the right way? When I was younger, I usually played this game in the cold basement of my parents' house, usually late at night on a weekend. This was the most ideal time for me to play, especially for, being an introverted high schooler. In some ways, knowing I was playing underneath the night sky sort of amplified the feeling. Stargazing had always been an interest of mine that I rarely told anyone about. So playing the Wii late at night exploring the cosmos was a guilty pleasure of mine. And although Space Junk Galaxy wasn't the most iconic of levels, it brought me a sense of peace, a sense of bewilderment. Space Junk Galaxy was just that, a bunch of junk strung together, sort of floating through space. It was desolate for the most part, with foreign objects floating about. There were really only 3 planets per se: a giant Yoshi head, a rocky terrain within a glass orb, and the spiny habitat of Tarantox, who was the boss of the level. All 3 of these places drifted through space almost as if they were frozen in time. Scattered around the various areas were rockets and other vessels that lay destroyed in a suspended state. Their debris littered the area and made you realize where the galaxy got its name from. I always grew sad when I would think about these crashed rockets though. As you may have seen others mention online, these rockets sort of look similar to the ones from the Pikmin series. I wanted to know where they were headed though, and how their voyage came to a grinding halt. It was depressing to think that this galaxy would forever be their grave. It always made me wonder if the warships you encounter here in the second mission had something to do with their destruction in the past, or if Tarantox attacked them as they drew near. Tarantox obviously was known to be in existence by at least some kind of species, as there is a gated entrance that was crafted leading to them. These floating pieces are all listed as gravestones in the files, and they share some pretty interesting markings on them. It makes me wonder if these were crafted to honor Tarantox, or if this was some sort of space graveyard where a temple once resided. Unfortunately, I never had anything to go off as a kid, so I eventually put it to rest in my mind. Between this and all the other random things floating around this galaxy, there was a lot that didn't add up. Trying to piece it together was an impossible task. So, I didn't. I shut off my mind and just existed. And I think that's what Space Junk Galaxy is really about. The underlying theme I mentioned before. It's really just about existing. Existing in a place that has a grand sense of history. And although there is past destruction all around you, you still find peace. In all this chaos, there is beauty. And unlike our planet Earth, nature doesn't reclaim things in space. Things drift forever, and they will forever be memoirs of the past. Coming to terms with this made Space Junk Galaxy quite the meditative place. I know for a fact I'm not the only person who would just space out to this song, no pun intended. Couple this historic space area with a wistful music track, and it is very clear why many players love this place. This is why Space Junk Galaxy will forever be one of my pixel portals. But now that I've shared that with all of you, I'd love to hear about your own experiences. What was your favorite place in Super Mario Galaxy? Did you often gaze into the stars in game and just find inner peace? I know that may sound silly to some, but I feel this game is perfect for that. I'd love to hear your story, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can always shoot me a tweet or hit me up on Discord as well. And with that, thanks for tuning into this nostalgic voyage through the stars. If you'd like to join me on my YouTube voyage and continue to recall the memories from our past, then the subscribe button is just what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and until my next video, cheers. You've made it to the end of the video, but wait, your quest isn't over yet. If you like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon so I can continue to make videos for all of you. There's also a slew of other videos on my channel too, so regardless, I hope you enjoy.